The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we're going to be going through some of the national and state sports betting reports, including a very interesting report that was just recently released by Morgan Stanley on the sports betting and online gambling industry for the country.
I heard about this report.
Yes, very interesting.
It is.
Then we're going to be talking about several deals that have happened in the past week, one involving Caesars Entertainment, another one involving the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh, okay.
Then our industry updates, we're going to be hitting some of the launches that have occurred over the past week across the different jurisdictions in the country. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to finish up with the legislative roundup with what's going on with Ohio, some talk about Massachusetts, even maybe if we have time, some talk about Connecticut too.
Connecticut? What's going on in Connecticut?
A new budget bill was passed.
Oh, okay.
Had
All
some
right.
changes to a lot of the states' way they're directing some of the funding.
Okay.
So if we have time, we can talk about that. But like always, we're going to start off with some numbers. Well, now, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we have this brand new, recently released report from Morgan Stanley on the sports betting and online gambling industry in the country. And oddly enough, it's called the U.S. Sports Betting and Online Gambling Primer 3.0 report.
How about that?
It's amazing how they come up with these titles.
Right. Very creative.
Yes. Well, they're analysts. They're not there in the creativity business.
I mean, anything surprising in it? I mean, for me, I looked at the numbers and basically everything is going to grow. They said the numbers are going to get bigger and better, and it's going to be great.
The numbers are going to grow.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
there's
it wasn't
no
surprising to me,
no,
but
I was
maybe
actually
the
surprised.
specific numbers. Maybe
That's what was surprising. First of all, they used the year 2025 as the target date for this report.
Okay.
The reason they did that was because a lot of the sports betting operators in their recent revenue earnings calls and revenue reports, they always say something like 1 to 3 years before they start seeing profitability, which means 3 years from now is 2025. So they actually went with that number, so 2025. According to Morgan Stanley, the sports betting industry revenue in 2025, this is revenue, not handle, will be $12.8 billion.
It's amazing. Yeah.
That's a huge number. If you think about in terms of what it means for the industry right now, in 2021, the national sports betting revenue was $4.3 billion. Mm-hmm. So they're anticipating in 3 years' time a little bit more than 3 times that amount in revenue being generated.
Well, I'm thinking also there's going to be more states jumping on the sports betting bandwagon. I don't want to jump on Ohio, but Ohio sent out a date. What is it, January 1st? So
they may be hitting that earlier.
What, Kansas?
We're going to talk about Ohio.
Maine, maybe?
It's one of those things where one of the other things they looked at, they're anticipating 42 states by 2025
So what do we have? 35
we have
now?
35 now.
So they're expecting 7 more?
We may be seeing 36, 37 soon.
Soon, yeah.
But I don't know how quickly, like North Carolina and some of the other states are going to be passing their sports betting
Well, we know
legislation.
definitely Ohio, probably Kansas. I guess, like I said,
Ohio,
Maine, maybe in a year and a half, 2 years, maybe.
Technically, you got to think Ohio, the date in the law says January 1st. So that's technically next year. Mm-hmm. If they don't have some other speeding up of their process. But again, Morgan Stanley is anticipating 42 states. They were surprised at the speed at which some of these states have already passed legislation to legalize sports betting, and they're anticipating another 7, 8 more states in the next 3 years to go online with actual sports betting. They're also anticipating California.
Oh, okay.
But not the online side, just retail.
All right, yeah.
That was another interesting aspect of the report when they talked about the top 5 states that are going to have sports betting gross gaming revenue in that year. And again, New York, $1.7 billion in revenue, not handle.
Yeah.
Illinois, they say, is going to beat New Jersey. or they anticipate beating New Jersey.
Yeah, well, it has bigger cities.
Only by about $770 million. New Jersey, 784. Florida, they're anticipating to be in the mix here.
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Yep.
They did not include Texas, and like I said, they only looked at California retail only.
Well, look, California is a game changer. If they ever get their act together, I think their numbers are going to be bigger than New York because they have a lot more teams, a lot pro and college, and they have a bigger population.
Yeah,
So they would dwarf New York numbers, I would think.
A couple other interesting numbers to throw out from the report. They feel that by that time frame in 2025, 85% of all wagering will be done online. I honestly think that might be a little low.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are a couple states still out there that are doing the in-person registration requirements. Some, like Mississippi. Maybe they don't anticipate Mississippi going totally mobile at some point.
Yeah.
And I just thought maybe, with states like Tennessee being online only, maybe they're anticipating retail in Tennessee.
There are some states that have draft legislation, and they don't even have casinos. No. Vermont is one of them. They have draft legislation.
Anything really?
Well, there's a draft legislation, and they don't even have casinos. So I guess that would, if they ever got sports betting, I guess it would be looking like Tennessee online only.
I'm still waiting for Hawaii to.
Hawaii,
every year they have like 5
That'd
to
be
10
such a
bills.
What a great state to have casino resorts. It'd be the perfect state for casino resorts.
Unless they do something stupid like
I don't even think they have lottery in Hawaii.
Think about Hawaii. What if they do something really stupid like, say, residents can't gamble in their casinos? It has to be out of state.
Oh, no, I don't think they do that.
It's just there's so many different weird things. Look what's happened in Massachusetts. The Senate passed a bill that didn't make sense if you think about it. But again, going back to this report, FanDuel and DraftKings, according to the report, ranked first in the industry for spontaneous brand awareness.
Okay.
How's that for a marketing phrase?
Not sure what that means, but okay.
Both of them were 54%,
all right,
give or take percentage points. But they were around 54%. The next pair,
so what is that, 108%?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
All right.
I think 54%.
I'm just doing a little math here.
It's the number is kind of weird, but I think they were 54% of the market in terms of spontaneous brand recognition.
Okay.
The next closest ones were Bet365 and BetMGM. They were 11%.
Really? No Caesars, huh?
I don't know.
I would think Caesars would be up there, huh?
I don't know. Other than their initial marketing blitz in New York.
Well, that's it. I'm thinking Caesars because I'm getting pounded over the head with advertising on TV.
I don't know if that actually really had any effect on their overall national recognition. Mm-hmm. But again, they're a good, solid company. I don't know
absolutely.
if they're the first ones you think of. That's the other problem. Going over to some other state numbers. We're leaving the report now. We're going to some state numbers. We have a state record handle in Oregon of $42.9 million. Also,
that's one of those states that love their table tennis, right?
Yes.
Oregon and Colorado love their table tennis.
Both those states always have table tennis in the top 10.
Yeah.
So, if it's one of those things where they just set the state record handle in April, $42.9 million, like I just said. We also had Pennsylvania and New York reporting their numbers. New York does it every week, so we have new numbers every week for them. But Pennsylvania became the third state to have 20 months with at least $25 million in gross gaming revenue.
Wow.
They joined New Jersey and Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only 3 states to have at least 20 months each.
Pennsylvania is a great gaming market. I mean, they have some of my favorite casinos and some of my favorite sports books. So yeah, I can imagine that.
You have DraftKings clearing $3 billion in total handle in the state.
Okay.
FanDuel cleared $5 billion in total handle and $400 million in total gross gaming revenue.
Wow. Okay.
You also have FanDuel. This is a unique stat to have them have. FanDuel has paid $100 million in state taxes to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, good for Pennsylvania.
New York. It's always the elephant in the room now.
Yeah.
They had their worst week of handle since the beginning.
All right.
And the beginning was the week ending January 8th.
Yeah, January 8th, I think.
And it was only a couple of days. And this the handle was as low as that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird watching. It's been going up and down the last couple of weeks. But overall, since launch, and this is through the numbers ending May 15th, the total handle for the mobile betting industry is just under $7 billion.
Now, when we say their worst week, I mean, let's be honest.
It was under 300 million. It was under 300
These
million,
are
yes.
amazing numbers, but for New York, it wasn't up to par of the other weeks.
Right,
But they're still great numbers.
Their revenue was constant. They still were
Some
somewhere
states would
between-
like to have what
Yes.
New York has in 1 week.
Well,
So
the New York weekly revenue is what some states would like to have for a month. I mean,
Yeah.
this past week they had 30-point-something million. Their revenue is staying constant. The handle's fluctuating like crazy. But since launch, on just under $7 billion, I think they're about 200 million away from $7 billion. They're just under $500 million in gross gaming revenue. And they've passed $250 million in taxes to the state. FanDuel this past week, kind of interesting, 42% of the handle and represented 57% of the revenue.
wow, okay.
They are the market leaders.
Oh, okay.
DraftKings passed the $100 million mark for paying taxes, and PointsBet finally passed $200 million in handle. In New York.
Oh, okay.
So some benchmarks there for
Sure,
the state
sure.
of New York. That's pretty much it for the numbers segment. There's a whole bunch of other reports out there, and just wanted to hit the highlights for everybody out there. Let's move on to some deals that have happened in the past week. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we have a couple deals to talk about to highlight this segment, one involving Caesars Entertainment, and this was actually one of the first deals I've come across that was announced on a weekend.
Oh, they announced it on a weekend,
This was
huh?
announced on a weekend. This was
Usually
announced-
they have that Friday media dump that they.
Well, it was.
That's
kind-
when New York brings out their numbers. But
I'm just wondering if they rushed through the news cycle just to get this out because it was for a race day.
okay, well,
They released the press release early on a Saturday morning. Their deal announcing a partnership with Indy 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
so expect to see a lot of Caesar signs at the raceway.
Yes. But the Caesars Sportsbook is now the official sports betting partner of the Indy 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The book is also going to be the sponsor for the remaining races at the Speedway in 2022. And, this is one of the things we always talk about when we see these deals. They have a lounge.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
You have to have a lounge.
They
in
always
some
have
of these
lounges. By the way, I don't think I've ever bet on the Indianapolis 500. I'm
No,
trying to
no.
think of if I ever did. I don't think I ever bet on the Indianapolis 500.
No. I bet on the Daytona 500, but I've
Yes,
never,
I've done
never
that.
bet on the Indy 500. But again, they're going to have the Caesars Sportsbook Lounge at Pagoda Plaza.
All right.
And it's going to be very interesting because it's going to have free food and drink. They said in the press release, free food and drink for Caesars Sportsbook app members.
Oh, okay. So what do you do if you have an app?
I guess you
Are they
get
talking
some-
about signing up there, or if you already have the app?
Both.
Which I do have an app on
Both.
my phone.
I think it's both.
okay.
It didn't say whether or not you had to sign up there or not, but it's also, as soon as you walk in, it's going to be right there in front of you. You're going to be, I don't want to say inundated because that sounds like the marketing problem we have in the country. But again, it's they're going to be right there on the track, and it's going to be fun to see exactly where Caesar Sportsbook pops up during
See,
the races.
that's great. I like that.
I wonder if it's going to be on the walls, or it's going to be like a digital thing on the track, or
So-
maybe it's going to be something in the middle of it on the grant.
So I definitely have to check my Caesars app because they might have some specials on these races that I can jump on.
I would assume they're going
I'd
to have a
actually
lot
check it
of trademarks from the Indy 500 there, and because I don't remember seeing too many.
Well, I mean, I can be sitting in New Jersey and look at the Caesars app that I have, and
Well, you may not even.
they might have some specials there.
I noticed even if you're not in the state where you're at, you can actually call up the sports book and look. You don't have to sign in,
oh, sure.
and you can probably see some of the marks there.
Well, that's what I do sometimes if I'm traveling and I don't sign into the sports books that I have. I hit them and you can see the numbers.
Going over to Arizona, we have Casino Arizona announcing a new partnership with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona Diamondbacks. Casino Arizona is
That's such a great market.
yes.
Arizona.
This is more not a sports betting deal. It's more of a casino deal. It's naming the casino and its sister property, Talking Stick Resort.
Talking Stick Resort. I've never heard of that.
No,
what a great name.
It's a really nice property.
Okay.
In Arizona.
No, I've never heard of it. I like the name. Yeah, Talking Stick Resort.
They are the official casino and resort partners for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Any clue what that's referring to? I mean, that certainly has to have a story behind it, doesn't it? Talking
it's a
Stick
Native
Resort.
American tribe that's involved with
Okay.
it. So,
all right.
Yeah, there's history to it.
Okay.
And you'd have to take a look at it.
I'll Google it.
Yes. Under the deal, you're going to see logos for Casino Arizona and Talking Stick throughout the park. They even said, and I'm curious to see what these look like when they finally unveil these, unique field insignias in front of the home and visiting dugouts.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly what unique field insignias look like.
Okay.
But again, it's something to keep an eye out for. And also, the Diamondbacks will be opening a one-of-a-kind VIP lounge behind the visitor dugout for Casino Arizona and their guests to enjoy.
Well, how is it a one-of-a-kind?
I don't know.
Did they say how it's one-of-a-kind?
I don't know.
So it's
everything is one of a kind
behind the
when you do these
visiting
things.
dugout.
Yes.
Really? I mean, it's the VIP lounge is usually sometimes it's up higher in the stadium, but it's behind the visiting dugout.
The press release we got said behind the visiting dugout.
Okay, I got to take a look at this now.
I'm very curious to see what these, like I said, the field insignias. I want to know exactly what's different than just seeing the logo of the casinos there. Last deal for the past week, BetMGM announced that their gift card distribution program, their gift cards, BetMGM gift cards that they do in conjunction with a company called TAPP, T-A-P-P-P.
Okay.
3 Ps, are now available in 12 states. They were available in 10. They expanded it to 2 more states. So now people have over 12,000 locations to buy BetMGM gift cards.
So these are gift cards, like if you
they're
someone's like a special occasion, a birthday, you give them a gift card and it's like loaded with some money, right?
Exactly, and they're actually not refillable.
They're not refillable?
One time only.
One time only? Okay.
So,
all right.
That may change, but again, everything I've read about these cards, they're not refillable.
That's a unique gift. I never thought of giving a
Sign up to
sportsbook gift card. Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
In today's industry update segment, we're going to be talking a couple different launches, but also we finally have a date for when the acquisition of William Hill by 888 is going to take place.
Oh, okay.
888 Holdings just approved, their shareholders approved the William Hill takeover. 99.73% of the shareholders voted in favor of this. There were a couple holdouts.
That's pretty good.
And the acquisition is now going to happen around June 30th.
All right.
This year. So that saga is finally over. It seems to be. We'll see. A couple launches to hit. Real quickly, Hard Rock launched in Virginia.
Okay.
The mobile app is live, and they're planning a retail sportsbook at the Bristol Casino. And if you look at the signs for Bristol Casino as it's being built, it says Bristol Casino - future home of Hard Rock.
Oh, okay.
Virginia's the second state for Hard Rock, especially with the new platform they've just rolled out. South Dakota, the Dakota Sioux Casino and Hotel launched the Dakota Nation Sportsbook in Watertown.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool.
It's the 7th sportsbook in the state.
Really?
Yes.
South Dakota has 7 retail sportsbooks, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
So right now they've had the total amount for the industry to date since launch, 5.1 million handle, 440,000 in revenue, and taxes of around 40,000.
Now that's for the entire state of South Dakota.
But again, sports betting only occurs in Deadwood.
Okay. All right.
So SI Sportsbook launched in Virginia, their second state, and 13th for Virginia.
All right. Where are they, in Colorado?
Colorado.
Okay.
Yep.
Colorado and Virginia now, huh?
And Betway is supposed to launch in Virginia soon.
Okay.
DraftKings and Bally's announced a deal for sportsbook market access in Kansas. Kansas just recently passed legislation. I think it was the day later that they announced they have market access through the Boot Hill Casino in Dodge City.
But that's another great name for a casino. Boot Hill Casino in Dodge City. I like that.
DraftKings launched in Ontario finally.
Yes.
6 weeks after the first wave of online gambling platforms debuted in Ontario, they launched their online sportsbook and online casino.
Boy, if you're a gambler, it must be amazing in Ontario. But hearing all these these press releases coming out of Ontario is just absolutely amazing what's happening there.
Yes, and actually, one other update. I thought this was kind of interesting. Sport Radar announced the launch of a new dedicated virtual cricket in-play product. I've never bet on cricket.
I don't even understand cricket.
I've actually never watched it. I mean, I've seen plays here and there.
I've watched it.
I've never watched a match.
I was in a bar one time and they had cricket in front of me and I was just mesmerized by it. I was trying. They had the sound off and I was trying to figure out the rules when with no sound and no announcer, and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Well, again, I've never watched an entire match. I've watched.
Don't they last forever though?
They can.
Okay. All right.
But that's it for the update segment. Let's talk some legislation. A couple legislative updates to hit. We've got Ohio, we've got Massachusetts, and we even got Connecticut if we have time in this show this week. Ohio. Everyone's wondering when they're going to launch.
Yep. We just had Jack Entertainment in Ohio, and
they're ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they're all set.
The BetJack app that they created, and also what is it? The BetJack training camp. Probably one of the best ideas I've seen.
I know. You know, they teach people how to bet before it becomes before they launch real money sports betting
in a pre-launch market. One of the smartest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
You know, it actually allows people, the customers, to hit the ground running too. When the industry launches, because I think even in the interview you talked about how once the ribbon's cut in the sportsbook, people don't know what to do next.
Yeah. No, they're educated consumers in Ohio because of BetJack.
I wonder if that's going to affect how many parlays are made.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I'm just saying.
Yeah, if they're smart, they're going to stay away from parlays.
That's what I'm saying. If you educate the bettor, well, does that mean they're not going to do the crazy parlays like most other places do? I don't know.
I heard. I don't know what commercial I heard was for basketball a first bucket parlay. I was like, my God, why don't you just throw your money in a hole?
No, I'm not even touching that.
That's insane.
Although, let me tell you.
I mean, I'm sure it pays off, but how rare is it that it pays off?
The only way I would do that is if I had a free bet.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay.
I mean, not even a return, get your money back kind of bet. I would rather get the free bet and use it for that.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
No, that's a whole new other parlay.
Yeah.
That's one of those micro market parlays, same game parlays or whatever they call it, same bucket parlays. A little different, but again, regarding Ohio, everyone's wondering when the launch is going to happen. The law says it has to be up and running by January 1st, 2023. Some lawmakers are saying maybe mid to late October is possible.
Okay, all right.
They're looking at the World Series, not the start of NFL season like a lot of other markets do.
Lawmakers always look for benchmarks
in
the sports, either World Series or Super Bowl or usually the start of the football season, but I guess they're going to miss that.
This was a very unique benchmark to hit because a lot of places want to hit the beginning of the NFL season because that's when the sports books get their new customers.
And you know what? It's Ohio. I mean, they got great football fans there.
Okay, well, you got the Browns, you got the Bengals. Both could be very.
The Browns have some problems, but the Bengals are a very good team.
If Deshaun Watson plays without being
knows?
Going on, but again, we're going to know more because the Casino Control Commission website says the official start date of the industry in the state will be released or unveiled June 1st.
Okay.
They're going to announce it June. They have an announcement date for an announcement date.
Okay.
How about that one?
Yeah.
How about that for planning on?
Yeah, right.
And again, the reason they're being a little circumspect about this is the commission is already starting to go through 3,000 applications that they've received for sports betting because Ohio is the market that has the possibility of like 80 licenses to hand out because of the restaurants.
It's going to be a great market.
It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what happens if it's going to be a shotgun start or is it going to be rolled out in different areas, that sort of thing. It sounds like it's going to be a shotgun start where they're just going to launch everything at once.
I guess we'll see.
Massachusetts, that saga is still continuing. The House of Representatives voted not to concur with the Senate bill
Okay.
So it's going to be sent to a conference committee to try and work out a compromise bill. They've announced that there's going to be 3 Senate members, 3 House members. Every single one of the members supports sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a shot that there might be something to be able to work out. I mean, I know Karen.
I'm not going to hold my breath. I am not holding my breath for Massachusetts.
I know Karen Spilka
who's the Senate president, right?
who has said that if the Senate bill had gone to a roll call vote, she would have voted yes. I don't know if that's true.
No,
I don't know. That could just be, looking back.
Well, soon everyone's going to get a chance to vote and be on the record. So we'll see.
And regarding Massachusetts, the American Gaming Association just sent a letter asking Massachusetts lawmakers to permit college sports wagering because the Senate bill says no.
Yeah,
no college at all.
Any college at all,
which is stupid.
Yeah.
Negotiations. Allow sportsbook advertising because again, the Senate bill said can't do it during live sports.
Yeah, it's very limited. Yeah,
and you also have to. It can only be done during programming that's targeted at 21-year-old people or older.
Okay.
And also adopt a reasonable tax rate.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Senate one's really high for what it is. Yeah. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to work, but again, we'll see what happens. The conference committee is made up of the people who want it, so maybe they'll figure out a way to get it together and get a compromise bill going. But I don't know if they have time to do it before the legislative session ends.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
and we'll see exactly what happens with some of the other ones. Minnesota's something to watch. Connecticut has stuff going on. Maine they passed, but they're going to take their time,
taking their sweet time.
Yes. So, but that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Keep the press releases coming in. info@turnpikesportsradio.com. If you've been following along on TV, there's even more stories on our news ticker going across the bottom, and also you'll see the full print version of the Turnpike Sports Book Report up and running on the blog Turnpike Sports Radio. New domain name, turnpikesports.us.
Oh, okay.
And you click on the blog button, and you'll see the book report in all its glory written out there in print form there.
And that'll do it for us. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.